This week on the Spotlight, Bulls coach Fred Hoiberg trying to keep it together, but he's talking to the media. That's all good. Years ago, Lou Aldeng used to play for the Bulls. We'll flash you back to his great days. He was a solid dude. Robin Ventura used to play for the Chicago White Sox. He's a very good player. And Ryne Sandberg was a very good Cub. Hall of Fame, as you can see. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. Welcome to the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to Black Oak, a cool bar at 96th and Pulaski, or on Sunday, November 19th at noon till about 3 o'clock. You can be on TV talking about Bears football and stuff. I'll see you there. Black Oak. Family Dentist. Lawrence Ferlin. He is the dentist. 109th and Kedzie. Crowns, veneers, cleanings, and more. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to the Irish Legend. Great food, great drink, outdoor patio, great staff. Open at 11 a.m. daily. Really great stuff on the menu at 8933 South Archer in Willow Springs. I'll look for you there. Maybe we'll run into each other. And tip one at the Irish Legend. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage.
When you guys signed Wade last year, you said that you were hoping to be a great influence on the young players. Did he not have the impact on the younger players that you had possibly hoped for? And secondly, how important was this to get this done before the season started so it wouldn't be a distraction? You can just move forward.
You know, I thought Dwayne was really good. In fact, we talked earlier, and some of the young guys, they were influenced by Dwayne. His professionalism, you know, his Hall of Fame career, they took notice of that. You know, the bottom line, Megan, is that we chose a different path. And, you know, when Dwayne acknowledged that he wanted to play for a contender, that he didn't really want to be part of a rebuild, look, we worked with him, and he worked with us, and it became something we were able to do this weekend. So, like I said, we wish him all the best. He'll do great. And, you know, he emphasized that he was proud to wear a Bulls uniform for one time in his life, you know, being from here. So you know, that was something that I know he felt good about.
Hey, John, obviously there's been a big cross-pollination of politics and sports this weekend especially. What is your guys' stance as an organization, you personally? What's your stance on what you would like to see your team do come national anthem time, how you would like things conducted? Will you guys talk about that with your team? I mean, what is your whole feelings about that? Well,
this is the first time we've been together, but we addressed it briefly with the team earlier today. And it is something we are going to talk about again and come to some agreement on what to do. And I'll leave it at that. But we understand the magnitude of what's going on, how divisive things are right now. The great thing about sports is how it can bring people together. And that's what I think you're going to see happen more and more now because of what's going on. But we absolutely have every intention of addressing this further with our team and coming up with some resolution. Well, we're going to come to a consensus as a group. So I want to get in the room, Fred does, Gar does, with the players. We want to hear them out before we address it publicly.
Loud. There we go. John, both you and Gar have mentioned how important those first-round draft picks are going to be for the next couple of years. This upcoming draft supposedly is going to be loaded. How important is this next draft going to be? Have you seen some of these players, and even already from high school and across the seas? And how often will you go and see some of these players?
We've seen, you don't get a chance to see a lot of these guys because we're not allowed to go to high school games any longer, but we are allowed to scout the McDonald's game, the Hoop Summit, some of these. Obviously, anytime, really in any situation you're in, the draft's important. But now, as we go into this new direction of we're rebuilding, the draft is going to be very, very important. So it was key. Like I said, one of the keys is that we have our first-round picks into the future, along with the flexibility in some of the young players. From everything we've studied up to this point, our sense is it's going to be a very good draft, and obviously it's going to be, important. The drafts will be important to us over the next couple of years.
John, the preseason rankings by a lot of outlets have not been very kind to the Bulls as to how many wins you might have. What do you tell the fans in general, and when will you know if you're headed in the right direction this season?
Well, first of all, the wins and losses are going to take care of themselves. We're not focused on that. We understand better than anyone what we are about to embark on. And that's why I keep saying that the most important thing for us is the culture we have in this building. And it's very hard to define sometimes, but you know it when you see it, when it's positive, and it's positive right now. We're not going to define it by wins and losses. We are going to define it by the professional growth of these young players that we have. They're going to get opportunity. They're not going to be given opportunity just for the sake of opportunity. We talked to them earlier today. They're going to have to work hard and be professional and do the right things in order to earn that. If they do that, they'll get opportunity. And we're going to have to live with young players playing through mistakes. That's a part of this process. There is not a time frame. It's impossible to put that in a timeline. But I can guarantee you that if guys give the same commitment through this entire year that they've given this summer, then we will know what we need to know. And I feel really good about the personal character that we've seen this summer from our young players.
This is for any of you guys. You guys have been pretty consistent about being conservative with Zach. Where does he stand on his rehab timeline? And do you guys have an updated timeline as to when he might play?
No updated timeline. We're going to follow the doctor's instructions as he continues to see, the medical specialists. We're not going to rush Zach back. But with that said, we're also going to listen. When they say he's ready to play or to practice, we're going to allow him to do that. The one thing I've always found, and it's big, is guys come back from an extended timeout, especially coming off surgery. The biggest thing to me is when they do get the okay to come back on the practice floor is getting them in basketball condition, and that does not happen overnight. You can do so much when you're rehabbing and think you're in great shape, but once you get on that floor and you've got to get in a defensive stance and you've got to run and you've got to do the things that basketball requires, it takes some time. So that'll be the true test of when he comes back, is when he's cleared to be on the practice floor. We'll have to really monitor how he's doing physically and conditioning-wise.
Have you ruled him out opening night?
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furland, EDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage.
We're back in the spotlight on the streets of Chicago, on Halsted to be exact, and it's time to talk some White Sox baseball. Just a few days ago, I got a chance to talk to Robin Ventura before he had his back trouble, but it's an on-again, off-again thing, and he is okay. But he was in particularly good spirits when I caught him at New Comiskey Park with a wide-ranging interview discussing everything from his hitting to, well, a commercial sponsor. Let's go to New Comiskey and talk to Robin.
The weather kind of warmed up a little bit. It's tough hitting when it's cold, but you know, it's been that way the last 2 years when I started out in batting third and then ended up batting second. So you know, I don't know the reason.
No explanation. What about, I mean, if you're batting second, theoretically, you're getting more fastballs.
You're on a close-up here. You're on a close-up. You told me you wouldn't do that. She told me she wouldn't do that.
You know, we made the mistake of plugging in this TV set so Robin could see, and this is what happens. He starts taking over the show. But I hand you the mic in a second. About the batting order and fastballs, you got to be getting more.
Not really. I mean, they're really the same from batting third. I think Frank's the only one that hurts, that, you know, gets hurt on me being on in front of him, is that I'm not going anywhere. So, you know, he has to deal with that. But, I mean, I had Steve and Tim in front of me no matter what, and, you know, I'm getting the same pitches.
Well, you know, one thing about Robin that I always like, you know, whether he's hitting 250 or 340, he seems to take the same attitude. And
340?
Well, there have been weeks where you've had 340 weeks. I mean, certainly over a short span of time. But you do take things on an even keel. And I mean, is that something that was taught to you at a young age, or is that just your general personality?
I guess that's just a general dull personality. I don't know, but, you know, that's just the way I've done it.
Well, I mean, I think it's a compliment for baseball, because this is one sport, you know, with 162 games, you can't get 2 up or 2 down about an 0 for 4 or a 4 for 4.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's one of those things where you can go out the next day and pick yourself back up. So, you know, it's easier to do than a pitcher having to wait 5 days.
That's true. Well, you know, talking about your team getting hot again, the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, you know, what element of your team surprises you? I mean, certainly you knew the pitching would come around, talented people, you got good hitters, but with Guillen and Fisk out, the amount of time they were out, you know, who emerged to you as somebody who was maybe a surprise that you didn't expect to really play as well as they have?
I think Craig's played better than everybody really expected of him, and you know, the pitchers, McCaskill, they've done well. You know, and I think moreover the team leadership with George kind of taking control of a lot of things. I mean, he struggled early, but you know, he still knew that he was going to do good this year, so it wasn't something that bothered him. And you know, I think he kept everybody going. That, you know, we can still play a lot better than this. And Pudge was still around, and he had that attitude that we're going to get better, and we know we're good, so let's, you know, keep going.
You know, you bring up an interesting point. I mean, I've seen George here joking with our crew and joking with people, and he has a real interesting, lighthearted sense of humor that maybe some people don't see. You know, he's actually gotten sort of a media bad rap as not being the friendliest guy, and I don't know if it's the media doesn't understand his sense of humor, but you say he's been sort of a clubhouse leader.
I think so. I think, we just knew the things that we've heard, in the news, but, I think he's been a total surprise for the guys on this team, and, I think he's a great guy, great for the team, so, I think that was really a great addition when we got him, and, plus he's a great player, so, there's only good things there.
Yeah, certainly somebody to bat behind you and Frank has emerged with several game-winning hits during this streak. I was showing your manager that if you win a game, 2 games in every 3-game series and 3 out of every 4, you'll win 100 games in the year. How do you think that would fare against Minnesota and Oakland?
I'd say we'd be in the running. That's really, we've kind of left ourselves in that position where we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to, win every series, and if you don't, you're going to have to sweep series. So, it kind of loses the luxury of, being able to slip a little bit by our start. But, I think we're playing good enough baseball that we can do that.
To wrap up, I'm kind of interested in how you feel your role has emerged on the club. Obviously you're a young player, but with Fisk and Bell and some other veterans around, you're not going to figure to be the vocal take charge guy, but being a key player in the lineup and with a Gold Glove under your belt now, a lot of accolades have come to you earlier in your career. Do you feel a few of the young players occasionally coming over to you and looking for, maybe they're almost afraid to approach a Bell or Fisk, but they can come to you?
No, I don't think so. I just go out and play. I mean, when you got the guys that we have on this team, I don't have to worry about being some kind of leader or anything like that. I can just go play, and I don't think anybody's afraid to go up to those guys. They've kind of left the door open for anybody to talk to them, so it's not really a problem for me because I just feel the same as when I first came up. Just go out and play, and that everything else takes care of itself.
Numbers are falling where they may. Final question: if you could kind of look into the future and pick where your club would stand a month after the All-Star break, let's say August 15th, would you rather be in first place, being chased, or would you rather be close with a chance to take over?
I'd rather be in first place. I think we have a good enough team that we could pull away, but that's going to be yet to be seen. I think either place will be all right, and I think we keep playing the way we are. We'll be in good shape.
Well, with the dynamic duo of Robin and the Big Hurt, you'll see the White Sox putting on that move as we approach the All-Star break. And we'll be back with more in the Spotlight right after what, Robin?
A word from the grandstand where you can find everything that we wear.
Beautiful.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and a fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock Live Bidkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We're in the cold, and the Bulls are out west in the sun. What are you going to do? Anyway, the West Coast road trip continues, and Luol Deng is a guy that I thought would be an interesting source.
a guy who's been through a couple of them now. He knows the routine. He's learned a little bit. So we go to Luol Deng as our guy to be the road trip spokesman for this week. Find out how he prepares, some of the things that are on his mind when the Bulls are far away from home. We're talking Bulls, and of course you guys are going on one of the longer road trips of the year. You're a veteran of it by now, so you know some of the ins and outs. What are some of the things you will try to do when you're out there to stay fresh, stay focused, and when you're not allowed to sleep in your own bed?
It's like you said, becoming a vet now. In the past, we haven't really done well in the road trip. I think we got to have that in mind. Go out there and try to get wins. It's always tough going on the road, but with the way we're getting better now each game, we just got to try to build on on the momentum that we have. So,
if you're talking to a youngster, let's say that youngster over there, and you're saying, when you go on the road, these are some of the right things to do and what not to do. What's the list you start putting on him?
The right thing is always to be yourself. That's always the right thing. Especially with Derek, the kind of kid he is. He's a good kid, respects everybody. So just be yourself. And the main thing is definitely try to get as much rest as you can. Sometimes we're traveling and from hotel to hotel, different beds, leaving after the game, and not being in your own comfort for a while can get disturbing. So the number one thing is getting your rest.
I noticed that in the early part of the year, your coach is trying to do some things of a bonding nature, have speakers come in and talk to you. Do you see it or as a plus or as something that's maybe makes you chuckle if he tries to do some bonding things where you all go out to a movie or something like that?
No, it's definitely a plus. I think every time you're bonding is always a good thing because we're all in it together. I don't think none of us wear the uniform and walks out there by themselves. We all run out there at the same time. We play at the same time. So it makes sense to do other things at the same time where, we become closer and know each other better.
From a personal standpoint, now that you have your contract situation squared away, do you think this is a year of less distraction for you where you can focus just on the job at hand?
Definitely. I think, every year you try to do your job, but when you have less distraction, less things behind your mind, I just come in every day and try to, get better as a player and get better as a team. That's the only things in my mind right now.
I know when Kirk got injured, there was a lot of wild speculation about what people could do. Do you ever see yourself sliding over to the 2? Would they be asking too much if they asked you to do that occasionally?
You gotta be a team player and understand what kind of players we have. We have a lot of guards in this team, and I think right now with the players that we have, I think I'm more effective as a 3 and helping this team. If I'm asked by coach to play the 2 or anything like that, I'll be happy to do that. But you got to be smart in knowing what the team needs, and I think right now, I fit the role at the 3 with the way we're playing better.
To wrap up, you've always taken great pride on the defensive end and get a lot of tough assignments too. Do you see that as your 08-09 role, or do you see yourself being a little more offensively focused?
No, I think both. I think I'm asked to bring both to the team. I think offensively we have a lot of guys that could score the ball, so I think I got to understand that some nights some guys might be hot and we'll give them more looks because that's the kind of team that we have. Some nights it'd be my night, but defensively I think I'm asked to bring it every night. Like you said, I could guard the 4, I could guard the 3, sometimes guard the 2. So whatever the team needs, I'll go out there and try to get it done. Some nights I'll get it done.
You've got to get to Jack's. 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. You've got to get to Oliver, 6100 West 159th Street for my live trivia. Alternate Wednesdays now at 7 p.m. It's a great place with great food and drink and fun. Get to Oliver's on a Wednesday. I'll see ya. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people, everything great. You've got to get to Mad Anthony, a great sports bar and grill at 3350 West 47th Street. They serve Lococo's Pizza, sandwiches in a full bar, and my trivia is every other Friday, start about 5:45. Fun times at Mad Anthony. See you over there. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. Anyway, this is part 2 of our Ryan Sandberg interview, just recently recorded.
It was a fun summer. It flew by, which is always a good sign for a baseball season to fly by. And we had a winning record, and all in all, I just enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to doing it again.
I haven't done a promotion with you since I brought you to that shopping mall years ago, but that was quite an experience. What was it like in doing these events, and tell us a little bit about who you're promoting now.
Well, I'm with the RCN Cable TV, and they do a lot of great events. We were at Wrigley Field a couple of times. We were at Murphy's Bleachers. I did a Little League clinic out in the suburbs. Just various things that promote RCN, and it's all good stuff. And we're just walking around today doing a little reverse trick-or-treating. I'm going to the door and offering things, so it's kind of a nice concept, and it's good just to be out in the community and see the people, and to walk around this uniform, getting some crazy reactions out there. So it's just a good time, and it's with a great company.
To wrap up, when you look ahead to 2008, what are your managerial goals, and what would you say the main lesson you learned in your first year under your belt was?
Well, I think I learned a lot. It was the first time that I had been in charge of a baseball team, all 25 guys, and as a player, I concentrated on my job out there primarily, making sure that I did my job, along with working with the shortstop, the infielders, just whoever, but it was more about worrying about my job. So this was completely different, where it was 25 guys, trying to develop them, trying to give them all playing time, trying to think day to day what we needed to work on as a team to be better, and each guy individually on what they needed to work on to be better as players moving up through the system. So it was a great learning experience. Coached third base, which I hadn't done before, and
send everybody.
Oh yeah, got a couple guys thrown out, but that's okay. We're err on the aggressive side, but. A minor league manager wears a lot of hats. I mean, I was doing 3 or 4 different jobs, and along with working with the pitchers and the whole work. So I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to 2008 and doing it again and just getting more experience under my belt.
Well, we appreciate you being here at Mulligan's. This week's show is brought to you by the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Shop at 108th and Kedzie. Get all your car work done there like me. The Lansing Floral Shop is the place to go for all your floral needs. Call 708-474-1212. Huck Finn Restaurants, a huge menu, open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 105th and Cicero, and 67th and Pulaski. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.